Welcome, guys, to one more episode of Omkara पाठशाला. As we know कि हम इस पाठशाला में धंधे की बात करते हैं. इस बार हम एक नया बिजनेस लेके आए हैं, which is currently IPOing. It is the name of the company is Adani Wilmar. They are into a whole host of consumer food products, right from edible oil to packaged foods and among other things. Today we have with us Mr. Anshu Malik from Adani Wilmar. I would like to now hand over the session to Mr. Anshu Malik to take us through a brief presentation, and iske baad we will have a Q&A session. Sir, over to you.
Okay. Okay, Tejas, thank you. Good morning to all. Adani Wilmar is one of the largest and also one of the fastest growing consumer business in India. We offer the widest range of essential kitchen commodities for the Indian consumers. Our products account for 2/3 of the kitchen spend for an average Indian household, and we reach 1/3 of all households in the country. Fortune ranks amongst the top 100 most trusted brand in India. Over the 20 years, we have transformed into food and FMCG company with focus on becoming the most efficient supplier of best quality and widest range of products for the Indian kitchen. JV between Adani Group and Wilmar Group of Singapore was formed in 1999, and up to 2013, we went ahead and developed our edible oil business. From 2013 onwards, we started working on staples and food, and in a short span of 7 years, we have now become a leading player in all the categories that we are operating. We at Adani Wilmar are very bullish on our prospects to become the biggest food FMCG company in India with a national brand for all key segments. We are very focused to expand into new high-value product lines such as functional oil, fortified staples, ready to eat and ready to cook food, looking at the changing consumer need. Today, our business is in 3 portfolios. One is edible oil, food and FMCG, and industry essentials. 73% of the business of oil and food comes from branded sector. In industry essentials, we have castor oil, stearic acid, and glycerin, where we are #1 player in the country. Food is the biggest basket. If you see our daily consumption, हम लोग रोज, can I use Hindi and English both? Okay. We all eat daily wheat flour, roti, chapati, rice, basmati rice, non-basmati rice, dal, besan, chini, and then इनको बनाने के लिए we need edible oil or dairy products यानी दूध. 6 products जो है रोज we consume सुबह शाम, चाहे अमीर हो या गरीब हो या not so well to do, urban हो या rural हो, यही हम लोग का खाना है. But Adani Wilmar is the only company which operates in 5 out of 6 daily essential. Hence, food is the biggest business in India, and we are the biggest sellers of consumer packed edible oil, but oil is a very small part. Rice, wheat, सब 100 million metric ton volume है. Pulses and sugar, 25 million metric ton volume है. So this total volume is much bigger. Our potential to succeed in this AWS potential will be, if we are so successful in edible oil, we have every chance of becoming successful in all the categories that we are playing. We capture 2/3 of the kitchen bench, market share within top 3 in all branded categories, reaching 90 million or 1 out of every 3 home. AWL offers a very compelling investment case. Our brand Fortune is India's top brand when it comes to edible oil as well as food. We are confident of building it to become the biggest food brand in India. As we go along, as India's economy and population grows, the food market will grow even faster because per capita consumption will increase. With increasing affluency, the demand for quality food will go up. So there is a huge potential for manufacturers of quality products like Adani Wilmar. Next slide. We are seeing a decided shift towards branded product consumption driven by convenience, healthy eating trends and rising middle class population. यहाँ पे I would like to say that 20 साल पहले जब अदानी विल्मार स्टार्ट किया था कंपनी, तभी एडिबल ऑयल 15% ब्रांडेड और 85% लूज हुआ करता था. आज के दिन में करीबन 75 से 80% ब्रांडेड है और इवन छोटे गांव में या छोटे तहसील में भी अभी ब्रांडेड तेल बिकने लगा है और कंज्यूमर्स धीरे धीरे लूज से पैक की तरफ शिफ्ट हुआ है. लेकिन अगर आप आटा, चावल, चीनी, दाल, बेसन ये सब देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे आज भी 10 से 12% ही ब्रांडेड है और बाकी 80 से 90% जो भी बिकता है ये खुले बिकता है, ये लूज के हिसाब से बिकता है. तो यहीं पे द बिगेस्ट गेम ऑफ चेंज ओवर फ्रॉम लूज टू पैक्ड होगा आगे चल के. एज द कंट्री का जो डिमांड है वो बढ़ेगा, healthy eating trend आएगा और rising middle class population, COVID has actually accelerated this shift from loose to packed. Now, last 3 years, double-digit revenue growth, 20% EBITDA growth makes us one of the fastest growing FMCG company in the country. When it comes to edible oil, we are the largest branded player with 2x the size of our nearest competitor. Our market share has increased from 17% to 18.3% in the last 6 months. We have a strong belief in our ability to further expand our market share due to our strong brand equity and fragment nature of branded edible oil market. We hold leading position in all the type of oils we sell, including number 1 in big category like soybean and mustard oil, and 1, 2, and 3 in all the oils that we operate. In the recent past, we have launched multiple new categories, particularly rice, chakki atta, soya chunks, where we are number 2 and number 3 players. AWL platform has the ability to access growth as it has both agility and ability to respond to market requirement. We are very focused on strengthening our revenue streams through launch of value-added products, which will enable us to generate higher margins as we go forward. When it comes to edible oil, अगर आप edible oil देखेंगे, हर घर में edible oil की consumption है, and चाहे वो व्यक्ति कम कीमत वाला भी लेता हो, लेकिन तेल तो चाहिए हर घर में. इसलिए हम अदानी विलमार के लिए हर किचन में अगर मौजूद होना है या प्रेजेंस होना है तो वी हैव टू बी इन ऑल द टाइप ऑफ ऑयल. सो मस्टर्ड ऑयल चाहिए ईस्ट के लिए, ग्राउंडनट ऑयल चाहिए वेस्ट के लिए, सनफ्लावर ऑयल साउथ के लिए. सो इंडिया में अलग अलग प्रांत में अलग अलग तेल की खपत होता है या कंज्यूम किया जाता है घर में, तो उसके हिसाब से हम लोगों ने सभी तेल रखा है. ऊपर के ब्रांड में फॉर्चून एक्सपर्ट है जो फंक्शनल ऑयल है, फॉर्चून हमारा मिडिल लेयर है जो प्रीमियम एंड बल्क ऑफ द वॉल्यूम है, एंड देन मास ब्रांड्स है जो लोकल प्लेयर या लोकल मार्केट्स पे अपने प्राइस पे या अपने क्वालिटी में वहीं पे फाइट करते हैं टू प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द ब्रांड फॉर्चून. इस तरह से हम लोग हर 3 में से एक घर में उपलब्ध होते हैं. In the recent years, we have increasingly focused on innovative food and FMCG products driven by our strong in-house R&D and necessary input from our parent shareholders. Our successful expansion in value-added products demonstrates the strong brand salience of Fortune and our ability to leverage established manufacturing and distribution infrastructure. One example is our toilet soap, जो हम लोग बनाते हैं oleochemical business से. हम लोग 9% कंट्री का सोप नूडल्स बनाते हैं, एंड सोप नूडल ये है बेस स्टॉक. इसके अंदर कलर और फ्रेग्रेंस आप जब देंगे एंड उसको स्टैंपिंग करेंगे, यानी 60 ग्राम, 100 ग्राम, 150 ग्राम के टैबलेट्स बनाएंगे, तो ये टॉयलेट सोप बनेगा. एंड वी हैव आवर ओन टॉयलेट सोप्स व्हिच वी आर सेलिंग थ्रू आवर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चैनल. We have a very robust and growing conventional distribution network with over 5,500 distributors and covering more than 1.6 million outlets. We have an omni-channel distribution network presence across all key physical and online. इसलिए हर डीमार्ट में या रिलायंस में या बिग बाजार में या डीमार्ट में अवेलेबल है. इसके अलावा बिग बास्केट, अमेजॉन, फ्लिपकार्ट यहाँ पे भी अवेलेबल है. Last 2 साल में we have built our own Fortune online जो आज 25 cities में active है, and directly consumer can go and buy on Fortune online. We have a strong manufacturing infrastructure, integrated infrastructure है, total 50 factories है, 22 our own and 28 factories of toll units, and hinterland plants जो है ये local crops खरीदने के लिए काम आता है, जहाँ पे हम processing करते हैं like wheat, चना, सोयाबीन, mustard, and जो पोर्ट बेस्ड रिफाइनरीज है, यहाँ पे इंपोर्टेड ऑयल आता है, एंड यहाँ से हम लोग पूरा इंडिया को सप्लाई करते हैं, सो इट मेक्स आवर लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट चीपर. इंडिया का 25% एडिबल ऑयल रिफाइनिंग कैपेसिटी अदानी विल्मार के पास है. We have recently acquired a similar company बांग्लादेश में, जो इंडिया में जैसा है अदानी विल्मार, वैसे ही बांग्लादेश में है बांग्लादेश एडिबल ऑयल लिमिटेड. वहाँ पे हमारे पास 2 फैक्ट्रीज है, 550 डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, 2 लाख रिटेल आउटलेट कवर करते हैं through our team of sales people. Our position as the largest edible oil importer in India, backing of Wilmar Group, and long-standing relation of over 20 years with leading suppliers globally showcase our strong raw material sourcing capabilities, which is of essence to succeed in this industry. Edible oil industry में the buying is the most important part, and क्योंकि Wilmar world's largest palm oil player है और globally 90 countries में operate करते हैं, तो intelligence report of Wilmar helps Adani Wilmar to buy and store edible oil. It also provides us with better bargaining power, favorable commercial terms, market intelligence, and also helps mitigate price risk. We have successfully backward integrated. आज castor oil, Adani Wilmar is #1 in the world, largest player of castor oil in the world. और ये पूरा माल हम लोग export करते हैं to Europe, to China, to Korea, to Japan, and also we are largest producer of stearic acid and glycerine. Stearic acid जो है ये rubber industry में जाता है, cosmetic industry में जाते हैं, and 32% of country का stearic acid is produced by us. Glycerine में हमारे पास pharma grade है, food grade है और industry grade. We also provide customized product solution to Britannia, Mondelez, Nestle, Lotte. We have an R&D center at Hyderabad, which is world-class R&D center for specialty fats. जो हम लोग जो भी कोई फैट यूज करता है, चाहे eclairs हो, चाहे बिस्किट्स हो, चाहे चॉकलेट्स हो, anywhere जहाँ पे भी फैट का जरूरत है, Adani Wilmar provide that technology. We offer range of frying oil, bakery fat, confectionery fats, margarine जो है we supply to all the food industry and ice cream manufacturers. We are backed in our board. We are backed by Adani Group and Wilmar Group. Adani Group experience in domestic market, strong logistic capabilities has helped us drive our distribution infrastructure. Wilmar Group leadership in oil business has helped us having formidable sourcing capabilities, market intelligence, and strong risk management framework. यहाँ पे I would also like to say Wilmar is world's largest rice player. यानी rice processing के जो factories है, पैडी से राइस बनाने का वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट प्लेयर है. दे आर आल्सो वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट ओलियोकेमिकल प्लेयर, यानी ओलियोकेमिकल में आता है स्टीयरिक एसिड, ग्लिसरीन, सोप नूडल्स जो साबुन इंडस्ट्री में जाता है. सो विल्मार इज वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट, और वर्ल्ड के नंबर 2 में आता है विल्मार फॉर शुगर रिफाइनिंग और व्हीट फ्लावर प्रोसेसिंग एंड पैकिंग. तो इसलिए तेल, चावल और आटा और चीनी, ये चारों प्रोडक्ट्स में विल्मार वर्ल्ड के नंबर 1 या नंबर 2 है. जो हमें हेल्प मिलता है उनसे टेक्नोलॉजी में, R&D में, टेक्निकल नो हाउ, आज वर्ल्ड में क्या बेस्ट हो रहा है उसके बारे में, एंड सुपरविजन बाय देयर इंटरनेशनल पीपल टू हेल्प अस improve our performance. With financial performance, we have consolidated in revenue has increased by 25% this year, financial year 21, to 371 billion. इस last year हम लोग का 37,100 crore turnover था, from 29,800 crore. Volume 4.5 million metric ton handle किया था. Financial year revenue of edible oil grew 30% in food, and FMCG essentials grew 9%. We have been able to protect our absolute EBITDA margin at INR 14 billion. Our return ratio continues to be very healthy, 22% return on net worth and 11% return on capital employed. Our current gross debt is around INR 19 billion, जिसमें से 13 billion, 11 billion हम लोग repay करेंगे from the IPO proceeds. So this will come down drastically. Our capex, every year we have been investing in capex because हर time we have to increase our capacity to service the country, and इसलिए we are doing it. From the IPO proceeds, we have planned to put integrated factories of food mostly, and the biggest plant that will come in Dhandha, Haryana, will be an integrated paddy, flour, wheat flour, edible oil, and mustard oil plant. Going forward, we believe we have the building blocks in place to continue the growth. We will use the strength of our promoters, our strong brand fortune, and our integrated business model to increase profitability and competitiveness. This also positions us strategically for any inorganic growth or acquisitions of any brand or company going forward. When AWL succeeds in becoming the biggest manufacturer of the essential food product, it will also have the biggest brands and distribution network in India, which can be used to launch smaller volume but higher margin product like noodle, pasta, ready to eat, ready to cook, home care product, condiment. ये सब जो products होते हैं, इनका volume छोटा होता है, margin ज़्यादा होता है, लेकिन इनको distribution में cost लगता है. तो एक बार हम लोग का ये जो हाईवे तैयार हो जाएगा, जिसमें आटा, चावल, चीनी, तेल सब आ जाएगा, तब इसके अंदर छोटे-छोटे प्रोडक्ट भी जब जाएगा, तब इनका कॉस्ट जो है काफी कम हो जाएगा, एंड ये लास्ट माइल यानी लास्ट रिटेलर तक पहुंचने में काफी सुविधा होगा. इसको समिंग अप करने में इंडिया का जो इवॉल्विंग स्टोरी है, वी ऑल एग्री, इंडिया यंग कंट्री है, 80% of the population is less than 45 years old. Young population will eat good food and more food in future. Hence, shift to branded product. Fortune being a trusted brand, AWL will strive for increasing market share in branded food. Strength of our distribution network, integrated manufacturing, sourcing, and economies of scale will help us grow in future and also increase our margin. Strong, stable shareholders invested for the long-term success. That is Adani and Wilmar. 22 years se chal raha hai, and they will continue. This issue is all primary, no secondary. So you can understand the owners are very serious about investing and continuing in the long run. Thank you. I am now open to all questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was a very, very insightful presentation on Adani Wilmar. Sir, just one basic question, one more. What is, if you can just help us give details on the size of the IPO and the price band and when it is opening?
See, the size of the IPO is 3,600 crores, and issue opens on 27th and closes on 31st. As you know, it is Anchor and others are 50%, HNIs are 15%, and retail investors up to 35%.
Right, and all of
Price
this
band is
sure. Please go ahead, sir.
Price band has been kept lower at 218 and upper end at 230 rupees.
Right, and what will be the market cap of the company at this price band post issue?
At this price band, the market cap of the company has been pegged at 30,000 crores.
Okay, got it. And so all this 3,600 crores would be fresh issue, right?
Yes, it will be fresh issue. I will give you a breakup of the utilization of the proceeds. Around 1,100 crore will go for paying off our long-term debts. Long-term debts which we have in our books, for which we have used for capital investments in the past. We will retire that debt. 1,900 crore will go straight for new capex that we have planned and which we have given in our DRFP earlier, which is mainly food business that we are doing. in edible oil, we have sufficient capacity. However, one or two more capacity we are adding, particularly in East India. Eastern India is growing very fast now because consumption of branded edible oil is increasing in Eastern India, particularly Northeast and Bihar, Jharkhand, and Bengal. So we are investing more there. Mustard seed crushing, we are investing because India will produce more mustard seed going forward as part of our plan to increase oil seeds in the country. And rest of the money will go for rice, nuggets, besan, dal, and other food products.
Got it. So now starting from the beginning, okay, just wanted to understand what is the genesis of the Adani Wilmar, partnership for so many years. As in, what made Wilmar interested to invest or to partner with you guys 22 years back?
Okay. See, you are aware that Wilmar is the world's largest palm oil player. They were there in Indonesia, Malaysia, palm plantation. They were there in China in a big way. They are there in 90 countries that they operate. In India, I'm talking of 1999, India was not technically very advanced in terms of edible oil. Lot of loose market were there. And Wilmar felt that India will be a very big market in future. They wanted a partner, local partner who will join hands and who will have a vision like Wilmar to grow and grow the business in days to come. Wilmar that time happened to see the Mundra port of Adani's. That time the Mundra port was very small in 99. But they saw that there is a lot of potential in this Mundra port. So they discussed with our group chairman, and then together they thought it is better to start a JV. Our JV, let me tell you, is a very unique JV of 50-50. And hence such type of 50-50 JV successful for the last 22 years is an example of how a joint venture is run by professional companies and supported by the promoters.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you so much. So the other question is, for Wilmar, how big is the contribution of Adani Wilmar in Wilmar's operation?
See, Wilmar, as you know, is almost a $50 billion company having major businesses from China, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Ukraine, Russia. All these places, they have joint ventures. Like in India, they have JV. They have similar JVs in many of the countries. Now, for Wilmar, India is very important because India, China put together will be 50% of the business in the world. So when you say that you are number one in India and you are number one in China, you are actually number one in the globe. So you can imagine that how important India is to Wilmar, number one. Number two, India's consumption is growing. India is a growing country. India's population is increasing. So anybody who is a leader in India will be considered as a major player in the world. Today, we are importing soybean oil. We are the largest importers of soybean oil in the world. That is Adani Wilmar I am talking of, is the largest importer of soybean oil in the world. So India is not a small country that we talk of. Any company would like to be a leader in our country.
Got it. So one more question. What is the vision for Adani Wilmar? Where do you want to be in terms of, I'm talking in terms of the business mix, or let's say what basket of products do you want to be maybe over the next 5 years or so?
See, Adani Wilmar has been in the kitchen area of the house. Now, when you see a lady cooking, she needs edible oil, but she is also using dal, she is using besan, she is using sugar, she is using rice, atta, chawal, all these things she is using. So we felt that it is time for us to provide these products to her because she is aware of fortune and its benefits. So we started with rice, and in short span, we became number 3 player. We started with atta. In 2 years, we are now the number 2 player in the country. We are much bigger than any of the local players or regional players. We are national player and we are number 2 player after the big boy. So in 2 years, we have become the number 2 player and we are increasing our market share. We are number 2 in soya nuggets. There was only one brand of soya nuggets or soya vadi in the country, but we became number 2 and we are almost 20% of the market today. And we are growing very fast. Now, consumers have a belief or faith on the brand Fortune, that Fortune is quality is very good, always value for money, and consistent in quality. They will always provide you same quality. And second, availability is consistent because when you want, you must get that product. So consumers have felt that. We discussed with a lot of consumers who interact with us, and everybody said that you must come with all the products that we use in the kitchen. And slowly, if you see, we out of 6 daily requirement, we are in 5. And hence we are there with the consumers. Going forward, let me tell you, in 5 years, 2-3 things is most likely going to happen. One is that all of us, the way we are buying our grocery, the way we buy our staples, that will change substantially. Now, what will change? People going to the market and buying loose atta, loose chini will slowly reduce, and consumers will prefer buying 1 kilo, 5 kilo, 10 kilo packs. Now, people will start buying more e-commerce because grocery from e-commerce is growing very fast. And some of the towns, the e-commerce is now almost 40%, 50% of the business. You take Bangalore, you take Pune. These are the towns where the e-commerce is almost 40% of the total universe. Now, small towns also are favoring for online business. Now, when it comes to online, consumers don't look at all the product. They see what good product they know. They know Fortune. So they will say rice. So you say rice, Fortune rice is there. Atta, Fortune is there. Besan, Fortune is there. Dal, Fortune is there. Oil, Fortune is there. They know Fortune is a good brand. So they are buying Fortune. Our sale of edible oil from e-commerce, we are 30% market share in e-commerce. So that is because people believe that this product is good. So for us, as e-commerce becomes more and more strong, Fortune will become more and more strong because nationally the brand is available. So anywhere you travel in the country, you will get this brand. So in 5 years' time, a lot of changes will happen. COVID has actually brought some changes, like the way we buy our grocery, the way we buy our other packed products. We have become much more people who want to buy immunity product, high protein content product, nutritionally better quality product. So we are going to give that. So tomorrow we will give high protein atta. We will give multigrain atta. We will give chana and soya bean blended atta. We will give you soya nugget burger. We will give you oats with dalia. We'll give you lot of such type of products which are good for health, and consumers, modern young consumers will buy.
So it's like your strategy sounds to be more like, you are trying to be, or let's say you want to be the top 3 along with the other big players which are countrywide present. Is that the right way to think about it?
See, we see Adani Wilmar as a very different company. There is no company in the country which can think of such kind of range of staples in the basket. Now, why I'm saying this is because we handle large volume. These are all volume products. Today, our volume that we handle is more than 4.5 million ton. Now, आप यकीन कर सकते हैं, अगर आप 50 लाख मेट्रिक टन आप खरीदेंगे, प्रोसेस करेंगे और बेचेंगे, तो आपका मूवमेंट क्या हो रहा है, आपका टाइप ऑफ supply chain you are creating and what type of supply chain you have in your system. Now, this is not so easy to handle because such large volume cannot be handled unless you have manufacturing across the country, you have warehouse storage facilities across the country, you have distributors across the country, and you need people across the country to man it. Today, more than 7,000 salespeople go to the market every day to sell our products. More than 5,500 distributors working in the market. More than 5,000 vehicles going to the different areas to service the retail outlets. More than 90 warehouse and 50 factories. These are all our supply chain. And more than 50, 60 full rate loads, railways, we load our food and oil and we dispatch across the country. So that type of volume that we are handling across the country, we have 10 port-based refinery vessels are coming from Malaysia, Indonesia, from Argentina, Brazil, Ukraine, Russia. All these places, the vessels are coming, getting unloaded, storage in factory, and then processing, and then again going by rail and by road and by ship to other destinations. From Mundra, we are supplying by ship to Cochin, to Chennai, to Mangalore. So we have that kind of multimodal transport system. So all this network that we have created is something which makes us unique in terms of anybody that you can think of. So we are not comparing with anybody. Adani Wilmar is a different company. We are number one player in oleochemical. We are number one in stearic acid. So on one side, we have atta, rice, dal. On side, we have glycerine. We are number one in glycerine. We are number one in stearic acid. क्योंकि palm oil refining से हमें stearin मिलता है या PFAD मिलता है, जो हम लोग उसको oleochemical बनाते हैं, value add करते हैं. Oleochemical से glycerine बनाते हैं, जो pharma को देते हैं, and glycerine food industry जाता है, and then उसका toilet soap बनता है, and toilet soap बना के we sell the toilet soap. So ये पूरा integrated operation है. It is not one part of the operation. ये पूरा end to end.
Got it. Sir, in terms of the product mix today, sir, in terms of the product mix today, oil is a very, very big portion of your revenues. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 80%. Oil is basically 80% of your revenue.
See, volume wise, last year का बताऊं, for the financial year 2021, the volume is 65% is oil, 11% is food, and 23%, 24% is your industry essential. Now, in our company, we look at volume, not at value. उसका कारण है कि एडिबल ऑयल प्राइसेस या कोई कमोडिटी का प्राइसेस के ऊपर हमारा कंट्रोल नहीं है. तो आज इन्फ्लेशनरी प्रेशर से द प्राइसेस कैन गो अप. अभी जैसे ऑयल का प्राइसेस ऑलमोस्ट डबल हो गया एक साल में, तो क्या हमारा टर्नओवर को हमको देखना चाहिए एज डबल? नो, आई डोंट थिंक सो. वी हैव टू सी वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ, एंड वॉल्यूम ही हमारा परमानेंट है. वैल्यू तो परमानेंट नहीं है, बिकॉज इस साल तेजी था, कल नेक्स्ट ईयर हो सकता है बाजार थोड़ा नरम हो जाए या नीचे आ जाए, तो वैल्यू गिर जाएगा, बट वॉल्यूम ही मेन है. तो हम लोग आज के दिन में 4.5 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन हैंडल करते हैं, एंड वॉल्यूम के हिसाब से एडिबल ऑयल जो है हमारा 6 to 8% ग्रोथ है एवरी ईयर, वॉल्यूम का बात कर रहा हूँ. और फूड इज ग्रोइंग एट अराउंड 30%. आज के दिन में हम लोग 500,000 यानी 5 लाख मेट्रिक टन फूड हैंडल करते हैं. फूड में मेनली आटा यानी गेहूं है, चना है, दाल है, चावल है, चीनी है, ये सब प्रोडक्ट्स है जो 5 लाख टन है, जो 30% से ग्रो कर रहा है एवरी ईयर. एंड तो हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि शीघ्र ही हम इसको डबल कर पाएंगे वॉल्यूम. तो हमारा नजर हमेशा वॉल्यूम की तरफ होता है, बिकॉज वॉल्यूम ही आपको आगे चल के मार्जिन देगा.
Great, sir. And so the other thing which I wanted to understand is how do you manage the sourcing of your raw material? So for oil, how much is Wilmar contributing to the sourcing? What are the other sources of oil that you procure from, both in India as well as globally, as well as for the other other segments of business? If you can just help us understand that.
See, total edible oil may around 70% of the oil we import and 30% of the oil is sourced locally. Locally में जो source करते हैं, I will tell you, mustard करते हैं because we are number one player in mustard oil. So mustard seed and mustard oil. इसके अलावा rice bran oil जो इंडिया का है, cotton seed oil, groundnut oil, sesame seed oil, ये सब चीज हम लोग locally procure करते हैं, which is around 30%. इसमें procurement का स्टाइल ये है कि हमारा जो टीम है वो मार्केट में रहता है एंड हम लोग ब्रोकर्स हो या अड़तिया हो या मार्केट यार्ड हो या फार्मर कम्युनिटी हो या फार्मर ग्रुप्स हो या फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हो, इनके साथ टच में रहते हैं एंड बाय दैट वी गेट लॉट ऑफ आइडिया. फूड में 100% डोमेस्टिक है. चावल हम लोग डोमेस्टिक लेते हैं, चाहे बासमती हो या नॉन बासमती हो. दाल यहीं पे लेते हैं एंड वो इंपोर्ट नहीं करते. एंड आपका चीनी भी लोकल है एंड गेहूं भी लोकल है. तो फूड में तो 100% लोकल है, 5 लाख टन. अब आ गया इंपोर्टेड ऑयल. जो ऑयल है ये 3 टाइप्स ऑफ ऑयल है. एक है सनफ्लावर ऑयल, एक है सोयाबीन ऑयल और एक है पाम ऑयल. विल्मार जो है, क्योंकि पाम ऑयल में दे आर नंबर 1 प्लेयर इन द वर्ल्ड, ऑब्वियसली हमको पाम ऑयल का सपोर्ट विल्मार से मिल जाता है एंड विल्मार हमको गाइड करता है, विल्मार हमको आइडिया देता है एंड विल्मार से हम लेते हैं. हालांकि विल्मार से ही हमको लेना है. देयर इज नो सच कंपल्शन. वी कैन बाय फ्रॉम एनीबडी. इफ विल्मार इज चीप, we will buy from Wilmar. If Wilmar is not cheap and somebody else is cheap, we will buy from them. So there is no such issues. However, Wilmar say we get lot of market intelligence, market idea कि आज रेनफॉल कैसा है, पाम कल्टीवेशन कैसा हो रहा है, पाम का प्रोडक्शन कैसा है, पाम कैसे चल रहा है एंड पाम आगे क्या होगा. So that information हम लोगों को विल्मार से काफी मिलता है. सेकेंड, जो मलेशिया से आता है, ये 2 चीज हुआ. लॉरिक है. लॉरिक हम लोग यूज करते हैं फॉर स्पेशलिटी फैट्स. लेकिन जो अर्जेंटीना ब्राजील से आता है वो है सोयाबीन ऑयल. तो सोयाबीन ऑयल जो आता है वो हम वर्ल्ड के जितने बड़े बड़े प्लेयर्स है लाइक कारगिल, बुंगे, डुई डाइफरास, एडीएम, कॉपको, इन लोगों से हम लोग खरीदते हैं एंड हमारा उनके साथ काफी बड़ा रिलेशन है. हालांकि उनको विल्मार के साथ भी रिलेशन है बिकॉज उनको चाइना के लिए जो चाहिए वो विल्मार से लेते हैं. तो विल्मार के साथ है तो वी गेट लॉट ऑफ आइडिया. रशिया एंड यूक्रेन से सनफ्लावर आता है. विल्मार का फैक्ट्री है, वहां पे जॉइंट वेंचर है. हम लोग जॉइंट वेंचर से भी लेते हैं या दूसरे से भी लेते हैं. बट हम लोग को आइडिया मिलता है कि आज सनफ्लावर का क्या है, अभी यूक्रेन में क्या सिचुएशन है. उनको आइडिया मिल जाता है कि रशिया यूक्रेन का जो टेंशन है इससे तेल में कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा, सप्लाई चेन प्रॉब्लम होगा, वेसल ब्लॉक होगा. तो वी गेट ऑल आइडिया बिकॉज जेवी पार्टनर वहां पे है, उनका फैक्ट्री है वहां पे और उन लोग उनको आइडिया पूरा मिल जाता है कि क्या होगा. ये जो नॉलेज, ये जो ग्लोबल आइडिया है कि आप अफ्रीका में, उनका तंजानिया में भी फैक्ट्री है, केनिया में भी है, उनका साउथ अफ्रीका में फैक्ट्री है. तो अफ्रीका का डिमांड, चाइना का डिमांड, रशिया का प्रॉब्लम, ब्राजील का डिमांड, इंडोनेशिया का गवर्नमेंट का इश्यूज, ये सब का आइडिया विल्मार हम लोग को देता रहता है और हमारे टीम से भी हम लोग इंटरेक्ट करते हैं. ये जो है ये एडवांटेज है, ये सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज अदानी विल्मार को है. एंड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट जिसे कहते हैं, वी हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ रिस्क मैनेजमेंट जो हर ट्रेडर अपना हिसाब से ही करना पड़ेगा. एंड उनके ऊपर आता है तो ये सीईओ एमडी पे आएगा. सीईओ एमडी का लेवल हो जाता है, चेयरमैन के पास जाएगा, नहीं तो बोर्ड के पास जाएगा. सो ये सब लिखा हुआ है कि हु विल डू व्हाट एंड इसका एक मॉनिटरिंग एजेंसी है जो मॉनिटर करता है हर वक्त कि आपका जो भी काम कर रहे हो विद इन दी फ्रेमवर्क है या विद इन दी लिमिट्स है या नहीं. तो ये सब कंप्लीट रिटन डाउन पॉलिसी है.
Got it. It's a great answer. One more question I had was on your fully integrated processes. So what I understand is you buy the raw material, then you do the entire fracking process of seeds, and then you derive fats. From there, you derive oils, you derive de-oiled cakes, oleochemicals, everything from that, right? So You are a fully end-to-end integrated player, is what I understand. Plus, you are a branded player. Fortune is a pretty well-known brand in metros and urban areas as well. uh, I'm trying to understand that why is it that the margins are so low, as in 4% margin is what we work at, and in the last 1 year, because of the raw material price increase, you have not been able to pass it on fully, so your margins have also declined. Can you help us understand what is at work in this?
ठीक है. So first let me tell you integration दो टाइप का होता है. Two types of integration. One is end-to-end product integration. Like सोयाबीन है, सोयाबीन आया तो we crush the seed. आपको दो चीज मिलेगा. एक आपको DOC मिलेगा यानी de-oiled cake, और आपको मिलेगा तेल. जो क्रूड सोयाबीन आएगा, इसमें से हम लेसिथिन बनाएंगे. ये लेसिथिन हम लोग एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे टू यूरोप, एंड रिफाइंड ऑयल पैक होगा फॉर्चून. जो DOC बनेगा, इसमें आप हाई प्रोटीन DOC बना सकते हैं. आप इसका सोया फ्लेक्स बना सकते हैं, सोया ग्रिट्स बना सकते हैं, सोया फ्लावर बना सकते हैं, सोया नगेट्स बना सकते हैं. तो आपके पास 4-5 ऑप्शन है. हम लोग एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं सोया ग्रिट्स, सोया फ्लावर एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं टू चाइना, कोरिया, जापान. सोया सॉस मील के लिए जो सोया सॉस बनता है चाइनीज फूड में जो यूज करते हैं, वो हम लोग सोया सॉस मील बनाते हैं, जो बिकॉज ये नॉन GMO है. नॉन GMO वर्ल्ड में ज्यादा पैसा मिलता है, तो नॉन GMO इज प्रेफर्ड. तो वी सप्लाई टू कोरिया, विलमार जापान, विलमार चाइना. उन लोग वहां पे सोया सॉस बनाते हैं हमारे सोया सॉस मील से. तो ऐसा करके ये पूरा इंटीग्रेशन है. और फिर फॉर्चून नगेट आपको जो हम 200 ग्राम या 100 ग्राम या 40 ग्राम के पैक में मिलता है, ये एक एंड टू है. सिमिलरली हमारा पाम है. पाम ऑयल आया, पाम ऑयल रिफाइनिंग किया, पाम ऑयल रिफाइंड पाम ऑयल चले गया इंडस्ट्री को या कंज्यूमर को, एंड देन वी हैव PFAD और स्टीयरिन. ये स्टीयरिन जो है हम ओलियोकेमिकल फैक्ट्री का रॉ मटेरियल है. ओलियोकेमिकल फैक्ट्री में स्टेरिक एसिड है, ग्लिसरीन है और सोप नूडल्स है. सोप नूडल्स जो बनेगा, यहाँ से हम टॉयलेट सोप बनाएंगे एंड टॉयलेट सोप हम बेचेंगे. या सोप नूडल हम लोग आज रेकेन पेनिकाइजर, हिंदुस्तान लीवर या एनीबडी, हम लोग उनको पूरा देते हैं. ये एक है. दूसरा टाइप ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन इज एक ही फैक्ट्री में तेल का भी है एंड चावल का भी फैक्ट्री अंदर है, या दाल का फैक्ट्री अंदर है, या आटा का फैक्ट्री है. तो एक ही फैक्ट्री में 3-4 प्रोडक्ट्स है. तो आप कॉमन R&D, कॉमन QC फैसिलिटीज, कॉमन वेब्रिज, कॉमन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, कॉमन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, ये सब कॉमन हो जाता है. और एक ही फैक्ट्री में 3-4 सेक्शन है. एक फूड सेक्शन, एक ऑयल सेक्शन, एक दूसरा सेक्शन. सो आप एक फैक्ट्री के अंदर इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच है. सो ये दो टाइप का इंटीग्रेशन है जो हम लोग करते हैं, और हम लोग इसके डिफरेंट है दूसरों से. अब आ जाते हैं मार्जिन स्ट्रक्चर में. देखिए 4% जो EBITDA मार्जिन है, दीज आर ऑल इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड. ये इंडस्ट्री का खासियत है कि दिस इज द टाइप ऑफ मार्जिन दैट यू विल गेट. यू मे गेट 0.5% मोर और 0.5% लेस एट आवर लेवल, बट सब्सटैंशियली ज्यादा अगर चाहिए, then food business has to contribute to a bigger level. आज के दिन में we are not making any EBITDA positive from the food, because जो भी EBITDA आता है food में, we put it back for advertisement, discount schemes, distributor scheme, retailer scheme, so that growth जो है हमको 30% मिलेगा. otherwise हमको 10% growth मिलेगा, but we want 30% growth, so we are reinvesting that, and इसी से हम लोग 3 साल में we want to double our volume. Now हम लोग we will never look at the percentage margin that we are, because percentage margin जो है ये कभी भी आपको करेक्ट फिगर नहीं देगा. उसका कारण है आज इन्फ्लेशन है, तो प्राइसेस हैव गॉन अप, सो परसेंटेज मार्जिन कम दिखेगा. कल को जब प्राइसेस नीचे आ जाएगा, यही मार्जिन आपको ज्यादा दिखेगा. तो क्या ज्यादा दिखना कभी क्या इज ए वेरी गुड परफॉर्मेंस? We will say no. Per ton, we must earn more, because अगर हम 5% वॉल्यूम बढ़ा, my earnings should go up by 5% or 6%. Then we are managing per ton. तो हमारे बिजनेस में हर कॉस्ट, हर एक्सपेंस, हर अर्निंग is always measured on cost per metric ton.
Okay.
इसलिए वैल्यू के ऊपर हम लोग का नजर कम रहता है, बिकॉज वैल्यू में अभी ड्यूटी 20% घट गया, तो वैल्यू भी घट गया 20%. तो what will happen? So nothing, we will only go by our per ton margin or per ton expenses.
Got it. Sir, so in terms of, so two questions here. One is, what has been the volume growth in the last 4 or 5 years? And what has been your EBITDA growth then? If you can help us understand that.
See,
And
volume growth has
yeah, sure,
volume
please.
growth in oil has been in the range of around 7 to 8% consistently over the last 5 years. 8% in edible oil. In food, last 3 years we are 30%, growing 30% in volume terms. As far as EBITDA is concerned, we are growing at around 20% over the last 5 years.
Wow, okay. So your margins have actually gone, as in you are actually earning
Yes.
more per ton, is what you are saying.
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
and
That is
right,
right.
and what is? Can you give me the segmental breakup of EBITDA, oil versus packaged foods versus industrial essentials?
See, the entire EBITDA that you see today is earned by edible oil and industry essential. Food is EBITDA zero or EBITDA neutral, correct? So whatever earning that you see the company makes is we make on our edible oil business and our industry essentials. Food, we have kept it zero because one, volume is 11%, but we want to grow faster and we want to increase our volumes fast. So we have kept that at zero. We don't mind keeping that at zero so that we can grow fast. And edible oil, and this is a consistent earning for us.
Got it. So food is today, I think, value-wise, कुछ 2200 crore hai. Correct, sir? The food business.
Correct.
Uh,
Correct.
right.
Correct.
So that, so when will that become EBITDA positive for you? Because as you mentioned, that is the more value add, higher EBITDA business. So
See,
what can you expect over there?
next 3 years, we plan to invest heavily in food. Now, all the capex that you are seeing will go into food, and ये capex जब तैयार होके आएगा, इसमें 2 साल तो minimum लगेगा. यानी FY23 गया 24, FY25 में your capex will start giving you money in food. तो उसके बाद ही जाके food में the real earning will start, because by this time हमारा volume भी will be a reasonable at 25-30% per year. अगर grow करेगा तो 3 साल में you can imagine what will be the volume. And उस time जो हमारे नए factories तैयार हो जाएंगे, that factories will start giving us the output and the quality and the product. तो उस time से ही the money will start coming.
Got it, sir. Got it. Great. Sir, bit more on the distribution side, if I can get to understand. So you mentioned a lot about how many distributors and branches and stuff you have. Can you give us an understanding in terms of the number of districts that you are penetrating today?
See, all districts of the country, all towns up to 50,000 population we cover across the country. Now, between 20,000 to 50,000, in some of the states, we have 100% coverage. When I say 100% means any town, 20,000 plus, like Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, and Rajasthan, we are there in 20,000 plus population. In UP, at least 50% of the 20,000 plus towns we are present. When I say present means, I am not talking of anybody other than direct distributor, जिसको हम लोग direct billing करते हैं, not indirect, direct billing. So they are our appointed wholesale dealers, जिनको हम काम करते हैं जिनके साथ. So we are there. So लगभग 20,000 population town तक we have already reached many of the states.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, I'd like to
we
dive
have 60% distributor in rural town. जब मैं rural कहता हूँ, our rural definition is less than 1 lakh population is all rural for us. हमारे पास 2800 distributor है जो rural में operate करते हैं आज के दिन.
Got it.
So I'd like to understand a little bit on the past. So I want to understand Adani Wilmar bana kaise? Like what thought went behind the corporate strategy of, in the last 2 decades behind creating this brand, this company?
See, the thought was simple to build an organization which will be the leader in whatever category it enters. Now, the leadership position will come from the category that you are looking at, and the category has to be one, food and agri, and has to be mass scale. We were not looking at small categories where you sell 100 tons or 500 tons. We were looking at the mass because India is a very big country. India has rich and poor. India has rural and urban. So if you want to be a leader in the country, you have to be with the masses. So the masses is most important. So what are the products that all of us consume every day? That is the biggest business in India. You cannot just say ready to eat. If I am there, I am very big. Ready to eat is hardly 1% or less than that. The main business is food. Nothing is bigger than food in India. And when I say food, there are only 6 products, which is food. So every day what we eat is atta. Are we big in atta? Is there any possibility of becoming big in atta? How much big can we be in atta? Today, country consumes 40 million tons of atta. 400 lakh metric ton. आपको 1% मार्केट मिलेगा तो 4 लाख मेट्रिक टन मिलेगा, 2% मिलेगा तो 8 lakh metric ton मिलेगा. So we see even if you are 5%, you will be 20 lakh metric ton. 20 lakh ton अगर आप handle करेंगे आटा, you will be considered to be the big boy. So we want to be a big player in anything that we enter. So we have entered into edible oil and we are the largest player at 18% market share. We have entered into atta. In 2 years, we are number 2 player. In rice, we have entered in 5 years, we are number 3 player. Nugget, we have entered last 5 years, we are number 2 player. We want to enter into dal, besan. In besan, we are putting capacities. We want to be the largest besan branded player in the country. Now, besan is a big market. 5 million ton market in the country. 50 lakh ton. 50 lakh ton mein, aaj only 10% is branded. Yani 5 lakh ton is branded. Tomorrow, when this becomes 20% branded, 10 lakh ton. 10 lakh ton mein agar aapko 10% bhi market hai, aapko 1 lakh ton besan aap bech sakte. So, any product that you look at, chahe sugar, chahe dal, chahe besan, chahe atta, chahe chini, tel, all these products put together is a big volume. Adani Wilmar wants to be the company which will supply consistently good quality, value for money, kitchen essentials meant for daily cooking for ordinary Indian consumer. So that is how we are build our capacity.
So on the consumer side,
We have another meeting starting at 12. We have another meeting starting at 12. Can we take this as a last question?
Yeah, Rikin, please go ahead with your last question, please.
तो सर मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन यही था कि आपके ग्रुप लेवल पे एंसिलरी अदर बिजनेसेस है, तो वो अदानी विल्मर में कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज बिल्ड करने में कितना आपको हेल्प करते हैं?
ग्रुप में जो बिजनेसेस है उसमें श्योरली हेल्प होता है. एक तो पोर्ट है, फर्स्ट इज पोर्ट. वी हैव पोर्ट ऑपरेशंस. तो हमारा पोर्ट बेस्ड रिफाइनरी है एट मुद्रा, हजीरा एंड कृष्णपट्टनम. ये 3 जगह में अदानी पोर्ट्स आर मैनेजिंग द पोर्ट्स. तो एडवांटेज है कि आपको पाइपलाइन कनेक्टिविटी है, आपको बर्थिंग जल्दी मिल जाता है एंड लॉट ऑफ सिनर्जी है. देखिए वेयर हाउस है, आपको कभी भी अर्जेंट एक्सपोर्ट के लिए आपके पास वेयर हाउस नहीं है, पोर्ट में तुरंत बोल के यू कैन क्रिएट योर ओन वेयर हाउस. वहां पे आपने माल रखवा दिया. वहां पे कोई क्लीनिंग करना है, वीट लाया हूँ, वीट एक्सपोर्ट करना है या राइस एक्सपोर्ट करना है, थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो गया, फ्यूमिगेशन करना है, वेयर हाउस चाहिए, तुरंत पोर्ट में गए, वेयर हाउस मिल गया, अपना काम हुआ. नाउ ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर एडवांटेज. ये एक उनका लॉजिस्टिक एडवांटेज है. उनके पास विभिन्न जगह में वेयर हाउसेस है और मल्टी कंटेनर यार्ड्स है एंड कंटेनर है. तो उनके कंटेनर पोर्ट में आते हैं for export consignment. खाली जाते हैं, खाली जब जाता है तो I put my oil and यहाँ से लेके मैं दिल्ली, लुधियाना, चंडीगढ़, कानपुर, वाराणसी, कोलकाता यहाँ से भेज देते हैं. तो मुझे एडवांटेज मिलता है ऑन द फ्रेट पार्ट कि उनके कंटेनर भर के आता है पोर्ट में और खाली कंटेनर वापस आईसीडी जाना है तो मैं यहाँ से हमारा तेल भेज देता हूँ या चावल भेजता हूँ या आटा भेजता हूँ. ये एक एडवांटेज है. दूसरा, उनका जो भी कनेक्टिविटी है इंडिया में, लाइक वीट साइलो है, वीट साइलो के कारण उनको वीट के साथ काम करते हैं तो वीट का एक आइडिया है आज, तो हम लोगों को भी वो आइडिया मिलता है कि क्या हो रहा क्या नहीं हो रहा. तो लॉट ऑफ सिनर्जी हर चीज में ही है. मीन्स ये तो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि these are the things that happening, but otherwise there is lot of synergy.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this entire discussion. It was wonderful chatting with you. Got to know a lot about Adani Wilmar as an entity. We really wish you all the best for the listing and hope to interact with you soon, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you, Tejas.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you.